Due to suggestive adult themes and dialogue, this podcast is intended for adults. In other words, the truth is ugly, so we get ugly right along with it. Everything we say is out of love for ourselves, our people, and our community. Sincerely, the Green Route Podcast.
And stop the damn dancing! Act like you got some goddamn sense, people!
Black people don't hope, we wish. We wish a motherfucker would be in our shit.
As far as I'm concerned, they could burn this bitch to the ground. And it still wouldn't be enough. And they are lucky that what black people are looking for is equality and not revenge.
All right, y'all. I want to welcome y'all to the Green Route Podcast, episode number 14.
Yeah.
Episode 14. We're in the double digits, y'all. I am GS.
And I'm Marlissa. What's up, y'all?
For sure.
Afghanistan. So I watched something interesting this morning on Democracy Now! About a year after the Taliban have come in and took over, right? And it was more so about women's rights. But one thing that of course it was Viceland reporting, which is just always fantastic. But one thing that they really talked about was the issue with women in particular not being able to work now and having to depend on their brothers, their husbands, their fathers, who had gotten used to their women like bringing in an income. Like, oh, we got extra miles, we got mom and dad and uncle, and so and so now it's all on the men again, and so now there is folks slipping back into poverty. Domestic violence is back on the rise. Like there are all these symptoms of shutting women out of public culture, public society.
It's one of those things where it's like people make those jokes about, like, and no disrespect to anyone who is Muslim or of the Islamic faith, but when people make those points about religious groups being so far in the past that they're hurting themselves, this is an example of that. Like, how do you they're harming, they're self-harming in the name of a religion. Half of their workforce is now gone. A lot of their girls are not in school anymore, which we all know. Yep. In any society, when you lessen the education of at least 25, even more than that, half your children, your population of children.
Specifically women who are the first teachers of they say if you teach a man, like you're teaching a man.
Right.
If you teach a woman, you're teaching a community.
You're teaching a community.
And that is a big deal to take the first teacher that a child experiences.
Right. And so there's that. And a lot of people, and a part of America's, so the other issue that's coming along with Afghanistan is the fact that we're holding $7 billion of Afghanistan's like money that was part of the World Bank, and we're holding it for the sake of they're still supporting terrorist efforts, and they're still allowing certain people to be, their leadership. They still have their housing people who the FBI is after, CIA, all that. So there's that part. They're hiding behind the there's like a clause with like NATO, like basically if you're housing terrorists, then not only can we hold your money, but we can hold any kind of aid. Like aid groups cannot send aid to you if you're housing these people. So there's that side of it. So that's their side. But what's actually happening is because they're holding that money, they basically made the country completely unable to stand on its own feet. Okay. Like the country will for as long as anybody can see, will be in poverty. A crazy thing. Again, 90 to 95% of the households are on their way to being under the poverty level. That's crazy. So with that being said,
and they banned the growing of like poppy, right?
Which was one of the things.
That's like, they were making crazy money
drug
off of that.
dealers as well.
Yeah, the opioid crisis, y'all. That's not a mistake. Yeah, all of that shit's connected.
You know how religions be all right, but then they be all wrong. That's a different conversation. But what's now being reported that this could turn into a potential war crime on behalf of like NATO, America, like
for holding
aid and holding that money, more people will die. So more release it, then there's a chance that less people would die and more people would not be in poverty.
But
See what I'm
then
saying?
that violates the NATO code
Yeah,
that says, wow.
that we can't give to these countries that are housing. So it's like I can't put this completely on them, like Taliban leadership. Like they're potentially hindering them getting that. If they were to oust their leaders who are considered terrorists, if they were to say, "Oh, we are completely disconnecting ourselves from these people," and I guess prove to NATO, prove to the allies that we're not housing them no more, then they could get it. I'm assuming.
Okay.
But the thing about it is, I think they've already tried to play these games with America. They've tried to kind of follow certain rules. They've tried to be, again, the Taliban was funded for a period of time by the United States.
Yes.
And that didn't go right. So with that being said, there's a lot of mistrust.
Yeah.
And some of them are like, we'd rather keep our leaders and figure it out, because when we give them up, we don't get what we need anyway.
Right, yeah. I mean...
Y'all liars, and y'all peace breakers and peace treaty breakers and shit. So, and they wouldn't be wrong.
They would not. This is a very sticky situation, and I think because religion is so involved that you have these folks that are like, I will let certain people starve to make sure that Sharia Islam
it's still going.
It's still, I mean,
we will sacrifice our people. This
Yes.
is how we are, and that's another part. You're right. The ideology, the ideology actually supports them harming themselves
for the sake of
Allah,
what
for the
they
sake of what they
believe, yeah.
believe in. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that they had tried to the Taliban had tried to kind of make themselves at least look better or look like they're not harmful. They was like riding on go-karts in this one video and shit.
Goes riding the whip.
On social media. They was on social media.
Yeah.
There's so many jokes that could fly on that one, but yeah.
And I did see a clip of it was one of the leaders, the Taliban leaders, saying we're asking specific women to show up to work, and it's interesting that they're asking specific. So when they took back over, women, you had to go, right? Like the man became your voice again. Like they cover the fuck up, get back to where you're supposed to be. But what happened was there was a brain drain in that country, and so very talented doctors and very and I'm talking about specialty type of people that all these women had gone into those careers because they could go to school now, and they were hungry. They hadn't had it in a long time. So yeah, I mean, now they're asking hey, you're our sisters, you're our mothers, you're our grandmothers. Please come take care of these patients at this hospital.
Exactly.
And the women are like, I can't stay here. I'm out. And of course, America's like, well, shit, we could use you over here. You helped us out while we were occupying the space, sure. So there's an amazing brain drain that's going on outside of the funding and the food. Healthcare is almost crumbling because women had just about taken that over, and because of the religion, women have to treat women for certain issues.
Yeah.
And so
that's funny because that's the only thing that they're really allowed to do now. That's it. Just be nurses but
those women that worked in the hospitals, the doctors are like, no, I'm cool. I'm getting out of here. I can go to the US or go to Europe or something and make more money and be able to feed my family. Why would I stay here?
It's as if think about your most, and don't get me wrong, we might love our family, but think about the most ignorant ones, the ones who are religiously ignorant.
Yeah.
Religiously ignorant, again, that's very specific type. Imagine them running your family reunion. You know what kind of music wouldn't get played? Do you know what kind of
food you couldn't eat?
What kind of drinks would not be drunk at your shit?
It'd be terrible.
Exact. So guess that's.
I'm gonna drive my own car so I can leave when I get ready.
Look, I'm not gonna be here for long.
Exactly.
You say, ain't Agatha doing everything?
I gotta get the fuck out of here. No, that's a great way to put it. That crazy uncle is in charge of Afghanistan at this point.
So. And I imagine being an intellectual, you're a degreed person.
Now you're the devil.
You trying your best to reason with them and say that this is I need this kind of help. She cannot touch me. You got a whole blood. You got stabbed, a whole gunshot.
But that woman can't touch you.
Yeah, that's wild. I honestly don't think they follow it. If I'm being honest, I don't think they follow it all the way through. I think in those situations when they about to die and then laying on that Like it's different. Like again, you go
I
through.
think it's like American Christianity. Like it looks good when you outside, but when you inside, like you watching that gay porn.
Yeah, you might be on some other. So
I think you're right. I think outside is a great look, but we know these people ain't staying celibate until, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, chill out, y'all.
All right, y'all. Talking about the celibacy of the Taliban. That was interesting. That was a good close. We're gonna close it right there.
Check in real quick. So I'm good. My energy was fucked up yesterday after an interaction. But yeah, feeling better. I came over here and I kicked it with my boy, and it's just a good space. Like the energy is good in this space, and so I feel normal again. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Let me check in with my people online first. First of all, shout out to the people who are online. This is a new setup. Y'all look at it. Tell us what you think. Give us some flame emoji signs or something. See if y'all rock with it. You know, whatever. Any feedback, we appreciate it. But yeah, checking in with me. I'm good. I actually had I had a really huge video project that I had to finish.
I like it.
And I finished it, and it was dope.
Congrats.
But it was just one of those things where it was just like I didn't allow myself to finish until like I was done. Like I was up till 4 a.m.
Okay.
And I had to, you know how like you just be relearning old lessons sometimes, or you forget. So this was an old lesson. I can never allow myself to do that again. Don't get me wrong. My pride was like, I gotta finish. I gotta make the deadline. I'm creating content. I'm creating media. I have to finish this. And so, and again, I had enough time to have finished it.
Okay.
So I kind of be getting on myself, but I finished it, knocked it out. The only thing was I felt like shit the next day.
I bet.
But today I'm starting to feel a lot better. And so I'm in a better space now.
Good.
My energy is better. It's getting back up there.
Good. Yeah.
So I ain't built for this all night still.
Nah.
It's like basically like studying for an exam all night.
I never did it. 2 degrees and I have never pulled an all-nighter.
Oh, at UT I definitely did. Definitely did.
I'm gonna get my rest.
We did it together. We wouldn't get that much studying done, but that's
what I'm saying. Like, how much am I really gonna do if I'm like exhausted? You know what I mean? Like, let me go to bed. I'll pick it up at 6 in the morning. Got the degrees. So either way.
Yeah, all that. So
They
yeah.
somewhere around here. All right, y'all. Well, I think that's all we got. Shit, we're gonna have to chop some of this off, but that's okay. Thank you for rocking with this 30-minute-ish episode, and we should have some video for y'all on this one, so that'd be cool.
Let's do it.
Give us feedback, y'all.
Let us know how y'all
For real.
feeling. Appreciate you. Thank y'all again for rocking with us on live. Thank y'all for rocking with the podcast. Continue to like, follow, subscribe,
Share.
Share for sure. Follow us on Instagram, The Green Route Pod. On Twitter, The Green Route Pod. All of that.
Everywhere, it's The Green Route Pod.
All of that. And
Yep.
we just, we lighten up the ghetto-ness of America. We talk about it candidly. We just kind of give a perspective on it that we feel like isn't being fully expressed. So.
That's cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna ride this drink and this smoke real quick, right into editing.
All right, y'all. Thank
All right.
y'all.
Later.
Peace, love, community, outlet.
Sunshine, sunshine, tell me where you are. 'Cause I need you to get me through my life.